Welcome back to our bus build. If you're new here, hi, we're Matt, Michelle and 3 boys turning our Mitsubishi Rosa into a tiny rolling home. Today's episode is a little bit different. It's a collection of clips that didn't quite make it into our other videos. You might find yourself thinking, wait, didn't they already do that? And you're right, but this is the never before seen behind the scenes stuff. So if you're up for some random Reno moments, stick around because these clips finally get their moment in the spotlight. So let's jump right in. Here's a look at some of the random bus Reno bits we've been working on behind the scenes. Matt started by fitting the top hat rails on the bus walls. These are super important because they will hold the overhead cupboards later on. He also added conduit piping for future wiring. A little forward planning now to save a lot of headache later. With the rain pouring down outside, Matt was busy inside figuring out the wiring for the lights. He managed to get it working on the first go. Clever, right? He also cleared out all the leftover aircon and speaker wiring from the bus and labelled what we still needed for the rear lights.
I realised that you can either buy things that are like this, kind of perfect and easy and simple, or you can get literally all the parts like this, the shrink wrap, you know what I mean, and make them for super cheap. Even this, like this stuff, these are $1.50 per metre, 1.2 metres, or you can buy a pack of like probably a few different types and some you'll never use for like 16, 20 bucks. So everything's like either easy or a little bit more effort to get there.
Next, we're backtracking to the subfloor. Matt flushed out the voids in the steel buzz frames with water. Maybe not totally necessary, but it felt good to start with a clean slate. Then we painted the 9mm ply with bitumen paint to waterproof it. With all the wet weather, we also painted the top side to stop mold from sneaking in. Now onto our ceiling saga. Do we flex the whole sheet of 3mm ply over the brackets, or keep it in shorter sheets and hide the seams behind the overhead cupboards? We still haven't locked in a final plan, but one thing we do know is that Matt needs enough headroom. Tall people problems. We even tested out shosugi-ban, the traditional Japanese wood-burning technique, to see if it would work for our ceiling panels. We both really loved the properties that the technique provides, but unfortunately it was really challenging to get an even finish by hand. Then, after a couple of stain experiments, we think a whitewash ceiling might be a winner. Have to get it quite even, don't we?
We've got things in the wood like that.
Oh, right. Another quick win, we hooked up a trickle charge solar panel to keep the bus battery topped up, since we're not driving it much right now. Before painting the V-boards, we cut them flush with the windowsills. No action shots here, but we did capture that very satisfying chalk line and the straight finish afterwards. Of course, not all bus renos are serious. Sometimes it's just three brothers with way too much energy. Then it was time for the thermal insulating roof paint. It's a thick ceramic coating that can drop the inside temp by up to 40%. This time, Matt drew the short straw and climbed the roof. It didn't seem as sketchy as the first time around. We got one full coat on, then risked it and got greedy painting a second coat. Unfortunately, we had more rain come through that evening, and the following morning we realized some of the top roof paint had actually washed away, which was a pretty frustrating sight to wake up to. But hey, at least we know the roof drains really well, and we'll get another chance to climb the roof and put it on properly. And that's it for this random Reno roundup. Thanks for hanging out with us through these behind the scenes bits. See you in the next one.